We think like, oh, I did it for a week, it's not working. Well, your body got broken over 30 years.
Thank you.
It takes a long time. It takes a long time to break your body. It also takes a long time to heal it.
Thank you.
So I worked for 2 years nonstop on fixing my hips. And I do it. I still do it every week. You know, I have to. If you can get this idea, I got it from I guess the guru in this whole field is his name's Dr. Kelly Starrett, who's been on my podcast actually.
Nice.
I read his books, like they're amazing. And he just wants everybody to be able to heal themselves. I'm like, that's a beautiful concept. If you can heal yourself, if we imagine we taught this in elementary school. Imagine we taught this in high school. Imagine, oh, my shoulder hurts. Oh, okay.
Okay,
you know, like,
boom, this is this.
Like, I'm not talking like gunshot wounds or like I'm talking like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. My knee. What is that?
I love how you think, because I really believe that the standards can be brought up. And not because I wanted to dismiss the work that it's doing right now, but simply that to lift the standard up. And I believe the standard, not only is it static and not going up, I believe it's going down. The standard of what is health, the standard of how to take care of our health. What is the baseline? What is the normal? And the baseline is so low right now. So low that when you do a minimum of work and have minimum of result, people say that you're cheating.
Oh, dude, look, man. Like I like reading about ancient societies and the Greeks and the Romans and the Stoics. They fascinate me. 80. So this is a fascinating stat that I got from Dr. Philip Ovadia that I had on my podcast not too long ago. And he's a cardiac surgeon. And the study that came out and he quoted it, 88% of Americans are unhealthy. And by unhealthy, I mean metabolically broken. And that is essentially,
that's a good,
you have either, high blood pressure, obesity, prediabetes. Like these are the determining factors of metabolic disease. 88%. So that means there's only 12. That means there's only 12% of Americans. Let's just say North Americans. Let's just say Canadians are in there too.
Yeah.
That are quote unquote healthy. That's insane.
That
means the
unacceptable.
Yeah, the amount of, I guess, the width of, or the amount of people that we can get healthy is astronomical. Like we're in a moment where like the littlest change will have a massive effect because we have 88% of people that are not healthy.
Je vais le dire en français, je suis pas d'accord. Tu sais, c'est inacceptable.
No, it's unsat. It's unacceptable. And how did we get there? I don't know exactly. It's
I have
very
a good
complicated.
Idea.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I can answer that. I believe.
Let her rip.
These are historical times,
yes.
And I believe that it's not a. For my part, it's finished thinking that it's always a error. Like, oops, we got that wrong. Oops, we got that wrong also. Oops, you got that wrong. I cannot believe that with my young 31 years old that I have found results. I have found solutions, and I'm already educating and sensibilisation.
And training or letting people know, like training people and getting them up to speed, basically.
Just
aware.
Awareness of global health and solutions and tools. At 31 years old, I have a hard time believing that it's an exception. I believe it's information that's there for a long time, access for a long time, that some people are talking from a long time. And right now, we're just at this crescendo of situation, like you just said, that 88% of the North Americans have not disability, but
they're metabolically
deficient disease.
So metabolic disorder is there's four criteria.
Right.
Obesity being like, if you're obese, and people that 66% of North Americans are obese. So the overwhelming majority are obese, but we're used to seeing fat people all the time. So it becomes normal.
Well, I'm getting used to it, but yeah. I mean...
But when you look at it, you're like, oh, that person isn't like obese. But in reality, if you look at it like clinically, obesity is based off your body mass index.
Yeah.
So if you have a body mass index of greater than 25... Now, this comes with a caveat, like elite athletes, like somebody like Evander Holyfield has a BMI that's higher than 25 because this is for the average human being.
Yeah.
Like elite athletes are not average human beings, but the average human being, like you and me and stuff like that, if our BMI is over 25, you can calculate that online. It's super easy to do.
Yeah.
It's height and weight. That's it. Height and weight. If it's above 25, you are overweight. If it's 30 and above, you're obese.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at somebody that's at like, let's say 25, 26, 27 BMI, they look normal. You're like, oh, they're not in any kind of health risk, but that's not true.
Technically,
they are.
By description?
By definition, they are. And
definition. Yeah.
And by that definition, you are more likely to have heart disease, diabetes, all kinds of other wealth of chronic inflammation diseases because you're metabolically broken. You're not supposed to have that much body fat. If you look back at pictures from the 70s, 60s, 50s, nobody's fat. Nobody. And they're all thin and skinny.
Well,
and
some will, but these people would stick out.
But they're the exception.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Right now, it's been inverse.
Yeah. And then to finish my thought about, ancient societies and the Greeks and the Romans.
Yes.
I think we have this arrogance that like, well, we're modern. We know everything. We know how to take care of ourselves. We know about health. We know about modern. No, I fundamentally disagree on the fact that if you made it past childbirth, because people always say, oh, well, the average age of death, so mortality was, much lower. Yes. However, it's because a lot of kids died at childbirth. Okay. So imagine you have, a lot of zeros in your average. But if you got past that, if you got past war, you could live 70s, 80s. Like if you look at statues of Plato, he's ripped. He's an old man. That doesn't make sense. We don't see statues of men in our society that are ripped. I don't know old men that are ripped. You should be.
The standard is gotten so low.
Well, I mean,
solo.
What's fascinating about the Greeks, right? They came out. They have this term called hormesis. And essentially, it's to describe a little bit of good stress. They call it eustress.
Okay.
So, we talk about like bad stress, which is like, oh, I lost my job. Oh, like that's bad stress. Like, somebody's trying to kill me. That's bad stress. Chronic stress, bad. But eustress is working out. Like that's our bodies respond to good stress in small doses.
Yes.
Because it allows us to grow and get better. So working out, like I worked out today at Bob Ball Gym, I'm going to get stronger in a few days. Okay, good stress. Exposing yourself to things like cold, like what you guys do. The Viking the Viking bath. What do you call them? Viking baths.
Viking meditation.
So all that stuff, and included in that is doing things like fasting. Yeah, you're stressing your body just a little bit. Yeah. To be able to breath work, holding your breath,
and all these sauna. Things.
Yeah, exactly. Hot, cold. These are things that the Greeks understood. Like they would hold on to like frozen statues in the middle of winter. Granted, it's not that cold in Greece in the winter, but still, we get the idea. They would take cold showers. They knew that if you were to get too complacent and too comfortable, what happens is you start sliding into depression and you start sliding into ill health. And you had to have a little bit of that stress incorporated into your day in order for your body to respond and stay healthy. And that's fundamentally part of what I do is incorporating that eustress, that little bit of stress every day so that you can become a better human being long-term.
Amen to that, my friend. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
And what I like to say is we hear a lot these days or in the past 20 years that life is good, right? La vie est belle.
It is.
La vie est belle.
It's never been better.
But I believe that is a misquote, or there may be a better term. But what my point is that I believe life is not bad, life is not good, life is stable. And what I mean by that is that there is good, there's bad, there's good, there's bad, and we go through life like this. If you believe that life is good and is only good, it always stays good, it's always comfortable, it's always good, life is going to give you a bad. To do the balance, to balance through the good and the bad. Same thing with bad. I believe if you have always bad, life is going to give you a good one day. And I believe maybe the life goal is to be as balanced as possible and have little good and little bad and go through life like that. So that supports your thought of self-stress or good stress.
Yeah, eustress.